I hope you are aware that change is the only constant that will keep you growing. It is the only factor that will inspire you to perform better today than yesterday. It will boost your spirit and energy to become the best version of yourself on a regular basis. Without change, you will cease to grow and stop learning. Change alone is leading you to new beginnings. Today, I want to talk about how I was able to welcome challenges and change and develop the courage to jump right in at the deep end. But first, let me introduce myself.
Hi, it's Monica, your intuitive trauma transformation coach who helps you face and successfully navigate through the storms of life, guiding you through a most powerful self-healing process and teaching you all the mindfulness tools you need to embark on your journey to your core self and create the life you've always envisioned.
For many trauma survivors, adjusting to change is, above all else, very stressful and disturbing. A new job, a move, or a change in a personal routine can be deeply troubling and disturbing. Unwanted change can be especially challenging if facing the unknown usually triggers fear or a sense of danger, as it does for someone with a history of trauma. The stress of change can trigger a sense of danger for someone with a trauma history. The unknown can reactivate a body memory stored with the knowledge that something bad happened when your world changed before. A trauma survivor may appear to react with a fight, flight, or freeze response, which may seem to some like an overreaction to something new. However, trauma survivors may have negative thoughts and feelings about change. Addressing them can build new strengths that allow new positive experiences to unfold. I always say, if I was able to break free, you can as well. This is a bit about my childhood. I was restricted to the house during my childhood, more or less to the basement, as my mother was convinced any relationship with another kid could poison my mind and imprint some bad habits. I was either allowed to accompany her or condemned to a basement room. My mother's speeches were really brainwashing. She was able to preach for hours about how unwanted children ruin their mother's life. And whenever I put my hands firmly over my ears because I felt already sick from all that yelling, she used to slap me in the face and called me ignorant. My father was always away, but whenever he came home, he looked at my grades and yelled at me, wondering what he did wrong to deserve such a dumb daughter. And he constantly compared me with kids who were smarter than me. Well, from a psychological point of view, it wasn't surprising that I developed depression and extreme social phobia. However, with the help of various energy healing modalities, I was able to leave all that behind. The most powerful for me being Reiki and applied kinesiology, which included EFT tapping. I don't know if you've ever worked with Tony Robbins, but often just in his online webinars, he mentions that he lets the participants of his breakthrough challenge run over glowing coals. At the end of my 3-year education in Germany, we also crossed the glowing coal carpet, as I call it. It's really something. The whole day we worked on our visions and dreams until we knew that there were no limits to what we can reach in our life. Then we were to pick a metaphor or symbol that stands for reaching our goal. And I chose the sunlight reflecting on the ocean because it forms a street of light, and I could imagine how I would always travel toward the light on my path until I would reach my destination. So I took my shoes and socks off, and the picture of the light was all I could see. I wouldn't look down at the coals. I would recite over and over, "There are no limits, just possibilities." And then I ran. I knew at this very moment that I became unstoppable and would never give up on my dream to be of service to people who carry trauma, as I did, and share with them that they can transform trauma into triumph and wounds into wisdom. Since then, I always say yes to challenges. I remember I was 41 and had never spoken in front of even 2 people and was asked to do my first presentation. I said yes before I could think about it because I've always wanted to do it, and I knew there will be a way, and there was. And yes, there was a bit of nervousness. But I went to the washroom before I went on stage and tapped it away with EFT. And then I was asked to do a podcast, and I said yes and accessed the vibration and energy of Tony Robbins and Bob Proctor. And the podcast turned out great. And I was asked, but what would you do if you had no time to prepare anything, no time to prepare a script, and one of those famous guys would call you on stage in front of 20 or 30,000 people? And you know what I replied? The right words will come to me because I know that I am guided by a great, loving, higher power who wants me to share my wisdom, my self-help techniques and tools, and how to break free and live a magical life to the fullest. And if you know that you are guided and always at the right place, at the right time, meeting the right people, and can bounce back, even if you have stumbled or fallen down, then there is nothing to fear anymore. You can be present every moment without worries, without self-doubt, and without anxiety, because you feel loved the way you are by the divine, and you feel one with all there is. Would you like to study Reiki with me? Or learn how to use my book, Heartful Transformations with the Art of Tapping, for your daily self-care rituals in order to break free from your past? Below the video is my contact information. And let's ask Tony Robbins' favorite question. When would now be a good time? Remember, peace begins with us. Namaste, namaste. You deserve to break free and live your magic.